Welcome everybody. My name is Tom, as Kristen likes to call me Tommy. So the only one who really calls me Tommy is my family, but I consider you guys all my family being here at Urban Yoga. So Tom, Tommy, whatever you choose. Welcome to Noon Gentle Yoga. I'm obviously not Kristen. I'm subbing for her. She's off doing something wonderful, I'm sure. And I'm going to be doing some subbing here for different teachers over the next couple months, and maybe even picking up a class as we go into the new year. So I'm originally from San Francisco, moved out here in 2019 with my family to escape the corporate life and live the wonderful desert life. So thrilled to be here, happy to be teaching today and be with you all virtually, my first virtual class. So this should be kind of fun. I'm sure there'll be some snags along the way with technology, but as we do in yoga, we breathe through it and just keep going. So before we get started, I'm huge on props, especially doing gentle yoga. So please at least have a blanket or you can have a towel. Just as we're in these seated postures, it really helps you, enjoy the pose a little bit more, supportive. And even if you're super bendy like me, it's great to get a little deeper in there and get the most benefits out of them. So blocks, a strap or belt. But really today, definitely recommend at least having a blanket. So we'll just begin in this easy Sukhasana posture. And you can go ahead and grab your blanket and just sit up on the edge. Just give your hips a little extra lift. Give your pelvis a little tilt forward. And just be comfortable as we begin here. So we're going to begin in Sukhasana, easy seated pose. And we'll just begin by starting to generate some heat, generate some prana, generate some energy here in the hands. So just begin rubbing the hands together. And then we'll go ahead and just close the eyes and then just cup the hands over the eyes. Just feeling that energy as we begin to draw the gaze inward. I'd like to begin from within in yoga. Starting to tune out some of the outside distractions that we might have. Begin to connect with the breath. Begin to elongate the inhales, inhalations, feeling the rib cage expand along the sides. Not forcing anything, just beginning to deepen here. Lengthen those exhalations. We empty the breath out of the body. We constantly, when we're breathing, just breathe those shallow breaths all day. So let's begin to really use that breath to draw that gaze inward. And as you fill the torso, think of not just filling the front and the core, but also the back of the body. So feeling the back side of the ribs expand. Breathe down into the kidneys. You can go ahead and place the hands down. You can keep the eyes closed here for a few more moments. And we just begin to shift consciousness from being the doer, constantly doing things, dealing with tasks, fending things off, whatever it might be we need tending to on the outside world, and we begin to become and shift to the observer. So just begin to observe what's coming up for you here, maybe physically, areas of tightness or tension that you might need to tend to today or just be noticing. Emotionally, maybe things are coming up. See what you can just let go of, maybe for the next hour even. Maybe where you are, spiritual sense, connection to the seasons shifting here. And we'll just keep this conscious observation going throughout our practice today without judgment, with some compassion for the self. A few more breaths. And softly open the eyes. Keep the gaze soft here. And we'll just begin to warm up the wrist here. So let's just begin to start to shake them out, not too hard, easy, as Kristen likes to say, gently. Kind of flap the wings here a little bit, just a little bit of movement in the wrist. And then go ahead and flick the fingers like you're flicking water off of them. Over to the left side. Right side. Up to the sky. And down to the earth. Then we'll go ahead and bring your forearms together and go ahead and just do some figure eights here with the wrist. So gently and easily, might hear a few pops in there. And then pause and see if you can take that in the other way. It's usually a little weird at first. Starting to do things that we don't normally do with the wrists. We're usually gripping up and typing in that. So texting, whatever it might be. Okay, wrists are nice and loose. All right, let's just begin here with, in this easy pose, just begin to stack up. So plug into the base of the pelvis. Those two little sitting bones can act as a conduit. And we'll just consciously get into the pose, stacking the hips over the pelvis, and then the heart over the pelvis, and then the head over the heart. So a nice long spine here. Lift the crown of the head up to the ceiling, and then we'll begin to just circle the torso gently around that center line of the body. Rocking back in the pelvis. You can use your shoulders and put your hands on your knees here just to use a little bit of leverage. You can use that shoulder to dip down if that's in your body. If not, no problem. Feeling those points of contact with the pelvis, with the mat and the earth. Go ahead, pause here. Let's take that in the other direction. Beginning to stir that energy, prana here. Always remembering to breathe. And we'll go ahead and take that back to center. And so here we'll just do some seated cat-cow. So again, you can place the palms on the outside of the knee, and we'll go ahead and lift up, broaden across the chest and the clavicles as we lift the heart up. Bend in the back here. Big inhale as we exhale. Sit back, round the spine. Spread those shoulder blades apart. And then move with the breath, just gently rocking up. And exhaling back. Move with the breath to whatever degree is comfortable for you guys. And we'll come back to center. Go ahead and inhale the arms up overhead. And as we exhale, we're just going to gently hinge forward to whatever degree is comfortable for you here. So you can just be here and just be a little upright. We're just getting a little bend in the hips. If that's not enough, you can begin to walk forward. Again, you can also have your blocks here. You can begin to hinge forward. You can put your forearms on blocks. Hooks work as well. And you're feeling that stretch in the outer hips here. Breathe into the back of the body here. And then slowly begin to walk the hands back up. And we'll go ahead and switch the cross of the legs. Actually, let's go ahead and just pause here for a second and bring the feet out a little farther than hip width distance. But roll the shoulders back and then just gently side to side rock onto the outer edges of the hips. Some little windshield wipers. Pause as you get over. Maybe pulse that hip up each side. All right. We'll go ahead and switch the cross of the legs. So whatever leg you had on top before, go ahead and place the other on top. And then we'll begin here with just some side body work. So let's inhale the arms up overhead, reach up, look up, draw the pinkies in towards each other, open the throat, deep breath in. Exhale, we'll go ahead and plant that hand down on the left side. You can bend the elbow here, straight hand. We're really trying to make sure that hip isn't popping up. So really anchor down to the right side. Take that right arm up and over. And then it's in your practice. You can rotate and look up under that arm. A little added rotation here. You have a gentle pulse. Breathing. Breathe into that side body, opening up the rib cage. And then we'll take that all the way up, look up, lift up, onto the other side. Root down through that hip bone. Gentle pulse here. And we'll go ahead and take it up, lift up. We'll just work into a gentle twist here. So lift the arms, exhale. We're going to go ahead and rotate around. So I like to say, as you rotate, take that back arm and really push down through the heel of the hand to elongate that spine and lift yourself up. You can also have a block back here. And then go ahead and rotate the head last in that twist. So anytime we twist from the base of the spine up through the shoulders, and the head comes last. Breathe. Inhale. Release slightly and exhale. You can twist a little deeper. And we'll go ahead and release. We'll take that to the other side. So inhale those arms back up overhead. Everybody's looking great. Go ahead. And again, use that backhand for leverage. Push down through the heel of the hand. Lift up. Straighten that spine. When we twist and our spine is that C shape or curve shape, you can kind of get some pinching in there. So that nice long spine opens everything up. Let's take one more breath there. We'll go ahead and let it go. Let's bring it back to center. We'll go ahead and do those windshield wipers one more time. We'll go ahead and, again, roll the shoulders back. Windshield wipers. And then let's go ahead and drop them over to the left. And then go ahead and walk the hands around behind you. So just taking a gentle twist. So it's nice and tall. If that's too much, just take it to a smaller degree. Look back over your shoulder, out of the corner of your eye. Stretching the gaze as well. And then gently unwind, take it back over, move nice and easy. These transitions, and we'll wind it around to the other side. Deep breath in here. Everybody's looking great. And let's go ahead and untwist it. All right, guys, looking great. We can keep our blanket here. Let's go ahead and take it into tabletop position. Get a little padding here for the knees. We'll go ahead and set up tabletop. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with alignment, but just a little refresh. Let's line those shoulders up right over those wrists. Line those hips up over the knees. Tap the feet here a little bit, kind of waking up tops of the feet. A lot of times we don't get a lot of stretches in the tops of the feet. Wiggle the hips side to side so we have a nice firm foundation here. And then we'll just work through some cat-cow here. So we'll drop that belly, we'll lift the gaze up. Make sure your shoulders aren't crunching up around the ears, so broaden through those clavicles here. Tailbone is reaching up to the sky, push down through the tops of the feet. And then exhale, push the floor away around the back, bring the pelvis forward. Spreading those shoulder blades apart. Draw the belly button into the spine so the belly's active here. And then move with the breath. So just begin rocking forward, breathing, inhale. Exhale, push it away. And just go ahead and work with that rhythm of the breath here. If you want to add on anything else, just looking over maybe a shoulder, rocking the hips, a little side to side, wagging the tail. Whatever feels good, whatever's calling to you here. We'll go ahead and come back to center when you're ready here. And then we'll go ahead and work through a shoulder thread here. So we'll inhale up, lift up, give that wrist a little wave, a couple circles here. And then exhale, go ahead and drop down and thread that shoulder through. If this is too much, you can just begin to, stay upright, maybe just come down to a forearm. You can also have a block here. What we're trying to do here is begin to stack the shoulders. And then if you want to sink in a little deeper, you can have anything to do with that right arm. You can extend it forward. Or if you want a little bit more leverage, you can reach back to the sacrum and just open that shoulder a little bit more. Breathe. Observe. Be compassionate, non-judgmental. is right for you today. So we'll go ahead and slowly come up. So place that hand down in the center, reach it back up, shake it out one more time. We'll take that over to the other side. So get everything squared up, set yourself up. Bring that hand just to a little bit more the center under the face, do a little bit more stability there. Everybody's looking great. Inhale up, get a little wave, a little shake out. And then go ahead, gently drop it down onto that other side. Wonderful. Everyone breathe. And go ahead and bring it back. Lift it up, open it up, give a little wave, circle that wrist, and we'll take it back over to center. We'll go ahead here. Just go ahead and take a gentle child's pose. So go ahead and let those knees go wide. That's why this blanket's great to have here. You get to walk the hands out forward, spread those fingers nice and wide, and then go ahead and sink down, push the hips back towards the heels. Sink in. You can have a block here for the head. If it's a little tough to get all the way down, I even like to put a block on the chest. Just gives you a little bit more lift. Keep the fingertips active here. Breathe. And we'll go ahead, walk the hands back forward. And we'll go ahead and shift the hips up and forward. We'll go all the way down to the belly. Take your time. Again, we got that blanket here for nice little padding. Kind of rock the hips side to side. Push into the tops of the feet so we have that nice foundation here. And we'll just come into a gentle Sphinx pose. So go ahead and draw the elbows forward, lining them up right underneath the shoulders here. Roll the shoulders back and down so we're not crunching up around the ears, broadening through the clavicles here. Push down into the forearms. And then you sort of use your hands, spread them nice and wide, and you can sort of pull your chest through. So it's an active pose. The belly button is drawing back and up and in towards the spine. So we're not just hanging out on the belly. You're feeling that in the low back. We're strengthening those low back muscles here. Push down into the tops of the thighs. Deep breath in here. Go ahead and look over the right shoulder. Stretch. Take it back to center. And over the other shoulder. And back to center. And we're just going to do this. You can just stay here. If you want a little bit more, push down into the palms. And then we're going to go ahead and draw the gaze in as you lift the belly up off the mat. So that's, you're going to feel that a little bit more intensely. You can pull the hips up if that's too much. No problem. Just back off. And just work through that inhaling, exhaling, drawing the gaze down and in. A little intense on the core, but we're just also strengthening low back at the same time. All right, let's go ahead and release the arms. Give those arms a little bit of a break. Just drop the head to one side. Shimmy shake the shoulders a little bit here. Rock the hips back and forth. And then go ahead and draw those palms back under the shoulders. Let's just come up for a gentle cobra. So push down into the mat. Lift the heart. Lift the crown of the head up and out. Push down into the tops of the feet. And if you want to add the arms, bring those fingertips up. And then go ahead and push back. We'll begin to bring yourself back up to tabletop. Take the arms forward, and we're going to work our way into a downward facing dog. So you can go ahead and bring that blanket off to the side. Keep it close by because we'll use it again shortly. And just take your time getting into your down dog. So tuck those toes, begin to push the hips up and back. Bend those knees. Walk that dog out. Take our time getting into your, spread the fingers nice and wide. Make sure you're not taking too much weight in the back of the wrist, but rather the pad between the pointer finger and the thumb. Go ahead, come up onto the balls of the feet. You can walk the feet in a little bit. That feels good. And then slowly begin to sink the heels down. Think as if someone's pulling your hips up and back with a belt. So you have some lift. Belly button's drawn in towards the spine here. Then roll those triceps inward. So we're hugging them up around the ears. You can almost think of spinning plates inward internally to tuck those triceps in around the ears. And let's just breathe here. Bend the knees if it's a little too much, a little too intense, especially in the beginning. And then gently just begin to walk, tiptoe forward towards the hands here. And now we are in forward fold Uttanasana. So props, props, props. Again, you can have blocks here. Bring forearms down. You can have hands on the blocks. Just begin to bend and straighten the legs. Let the head be heavy. Maybe even let the head rest on a block. You can grab for elbows. Whatever feels good to you in this pose. Just beginning to let all that weight open up the back of the body. You can bend the knees. And push and straighten the legs back. Stretching through the hamstrings. It's fun to play around in these poses of what you really want to get out of them. Stretching the back, stretching the hamstrings here. And we'll go ahead and release, and we'll take it into Ardha Uttanasana, so the half fold. Draw that energy up through the grounded feet. Lift through the crown of the head, up and out. Flatten out the back. You have the palms here on the shins. You can be on the thighs as well. Push the hips back. Make sure those shoulders are not around the ears. Breathe and exhale, fold in one more time. And let's do Ardha one more time. Go ahead and flatten out. Reach that crown of the head forward. Exhale, let it go. Go ahead and bring that ankles in a little closer together. And then go ahead and bring your hands to your hips. And then lift with the torso, not the head, as you come all the way up to stand. Take your time, let all that blood rush back down. We'll just kind of shake it out here. Everybody feeling okay? Everybody good? Thumbs up. All right, thank you. Okay, so let's just work through some standing postures here. We'll go ahead and inhale the arms up overhead. Look up, lift up. Exhale, draw that energy down into the heart. Let's go ahead and lift the sternum. Place the thumbs against the sternum. Let the heart shine forward. And then release those palms down. Extend the fingertips out. Tadasana mountain pose. So it's an active pose. We're not just kind of hanging out, standing around, right? We like to stand in one hip or the other. But here we're distributing that weight nice and equally. Spread the toes nice and wide. They're out of the shoes, thank goodness. Kneecaps pull them up and in. Push your hips just a little bit forward. Tuck that tailbone. Pull the belly button in. Broaden across those clavicles. Reach the crown of the head up. You can close the eyes here just for a second. Just observe. Observe the yoga happening. Just those two opposing forces, the grounding, the reaching, and the breath uniting the two. Those are always constant in any pose we're working through. So play with that observation today. We'll go ahead, inhale those arms up overhead. Then we'll take a gentle twist. So we'll exhale, take that left hand to the outer edge of the hip. You can bring that other hand around the back and just use that as leverage as you take a little bit of a twist here. And then again, the neck goes last over the shoulder. Release, inhale up. We'll take that to the other side. Work through transitions consciously. We're not just whipping through the transitions to get to the pose. It's about the journey as well. Inhale it up. And exhale it back in. All right, go ahead and extend the arms out to a T. Flip the palms up so the shoulders are nice and open here. We're going to inhale as we exhale. We're going to bend the elbows and take the tips of the fingers to the shoulders. Okay, so we're going to work through the arms here and the shoulders. Inhale, open up. Move with the breath, fingers wide. Exhale, bring it in, touch the tops of the shoulders. Beautiful. Inhale, open. Head's kind of getting cut off. Back here. Exhale, move with the breath. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale here, bring the fingertips to the top. Exhale to draw the elbows together. So work through this a couple times. Inhaling, open, moving with the breath. Exhaling, elbows together. Open. Close. Open. Close. One more time. Open. And close. Keep the elbows together. We're going to inhale the fingertips forward. We're going to work through that. So opening and closing. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. You know where we're going. And when you get your fingertips back here, we'll go ahead and open the elbows again and go ahead and just do some big circles here. Really big movements, get into the shoulder joints, into the back, and then take that in the other direction. Work your wings the other way. And we'll go ahead and release it out. Inhale, open up the arms nice and wide. Exhale, cross the elbows across each other. Reach for the back. Walk your fingertips around the back as much as you can. Give a nice squeeze. You're spreading those shoulder blades apart. And then inhale, open it up. Exhale, let's cross it over the other direction. So cross the other elbow on top. Kind of shimmy a little bit side to side. All right, we'll release that. Inhale up again and interlace the hands together. And then go ahead and press up. Drop the shoulder blades down a little bit so you're not crunching up around the ears. And we'll go ahead and release and then interlace the palms back behind you. If you can't do this, you can just grab for forearms or elbows. Up into my zoom here. There we go. And as you're interlaced here, push the hips forward, broaden through the chest, and inhale and then exhale, hinge at the hips. And bend the knees here if you need to, and take those arms up overhead. Easy, easy, gently. And then we'll go ahead and release them. Bring them back down. Let's inhale to that halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. And as you come up, bring the hands to the hips. Again, lift with the torso, not the head. Your head weighs like 10 pounds, I think. Really do a number on your neck. And then we'll come to a wide leg stance here. So we'll do a little bit more standing here before, a few standing poses before we get back down on the ground. So as we're in standing here, toes can be slightly pointed out and the heels just a little bit in. And we'll just work through here. Some wide leg forward folds. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive all the way down. Again, blocks are great here. If you don't want to go all the way down, you can have forearms. You can have your head on the block. You can be up here if you need to. So all levels of different degrees. Whatever's feeling good. You can play with different levels of the blocks. You make a little bit of that blood rush to the head. Fantastic. A nice hamstring stretch here. You kind of play around with the weight of the feet shifting into the toes and the back of the heels. And then we'll slowly begin to come into a twist here. So go ahead and plant that right hand directly under the face. Again, blocks are great here. If you need a little bit more leverage. And then we'll inhale and open up and twist. So we're stacking up the shoulders over each other here. That top arm variations here can just kind of hang out, can be on the low back. Lift it up to the sky. Bend the knees a little bit if it's a little too much on the backs of the legs and the hamstrings here. And we'll slowly unwind. We'll take that to the other side. So if you need a little shimmy side to side, give the hamstrings a little break here, and then we'll go ahead and set up. Plant that left hand underneath the face here. Inhale, twist, and open up. Stacking shoulders. Everybody's looking great. Sometimes your bum can kind of stick out. You can tuck that tailbone in just a little. And all right, we'll go ahead and release. Again, hands to the hips. Lift up with the core. Use your strength. And we'll go ahead and take into warrior two. So we'll point that right foot out to the edge of the mat. We'll line up heel to arch alignment with the 2 feet. So let's set up our foundation, not rush into the pose. And we'll go ahead and make sure that knee is lined up over the ankle. Extend the arms out before we sink in. I like to flip the palms up to the sky, open up those shoulders so there's a really nice opening through the clavicles, and then go ahead and sink in here. So we're pressing into the mound of that big toe, the outer edge of that back foot. And we also have a little action happening called the Mula Bandha, where you're pulling that pelvic floor sort of up and in. So you're not just sinking and, sort of relaxing so much into the pose. You're pulling up and in through your pelvic floor. Squeeze the thighs together just a little bit. Belly button, back of the spine. And then we'll go ahead and inhale, reverse that warrior. So drop that backhand down. Sink into that front leg. Up if that's okay on the neck. Breathe. And we'll take it back up to our warrior two. We'll take to extended side angle. So we'll take that right forearm, bring it down to the knee. Make sure you're not sinking into that shoulder, crunching, so you have some space here. And then what I like to do is sometimes when we go up and over like this, the shoulder can kind of catch here. So bring that arm up and around in front of you, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, I can get that arm up. When we go back this way, it sort of catches on that shoulder joint. So open up, push through that back edge of the back foot, breathing, and then use that core strength. Come up, warrior two, and we'll bring it back to center. Everyone's looking great, doing wonderful, guys. All right, let's take it into just a gentle goddess here. So go ahead, point the toes out this time. Heels are a little bit in. You can have your feet to whatever degree is comfortable here. We're going to just inhale, lift, palms together, exhale, gently sink to whatever degree is comfortable for you. So that might be an inch, you're feeling it. That might be a little deeper. Kind of rock side to side here. Inhale, straighten and lengthen. Exhale, sink in. One more time, inhale up. Exhale, take it down. Wonderful. And we'll go ahead and bring it up, and we'll take it to our warrior two on the other side. So take a moment, set yourself up. Heel to arch alignment, as we mentioned. Front knee over the ankle, pushing into that back edge of the foot. I like to open up the shoulders, reach the fingertips out, and then go ahead and drop down and sink in. Pull that belly button back and in, tuck the tailbone. Smile, as Kristen says. My face is always so intense when I'm doing yoga. It's just like, what's that look on your face? Smile. All right, let's reverse. Inhale, take it up and over. Conscious transitions here. I like to think of transitions sort of as if you're moving like through water or stirring the air. So you're not just flapping around and getting into the next pose, but conscious movement. Bring back up. Warrior two. Think about it as you go into this extended side angle, kind of stirring, moving the air, almost like you're in water. Just get a little bit more out of it. Make sure you're not dropping into that shoulder. space here. If you wanted more, you don't need to. You can reach forward, reach out. Tough to smile. Whatever degree is good for your body today. And then gently take it up. We'll go ahead and wiggle the feet together. And we're going to come into Malasana, but I want you to come into a comfortable Malasana. Okay, so if you can just sink down into the pose, cool. If you need to get down on the ground here for a minute, that's great as well. Block is awesome here. 2 blocks, even better. Whatever you need. So we're going to have the hips open, the heels on the mat. And again, we want to be comfortable here. So blocks are great. If you don't need the blocks, and you can just sink in, do what feels good. If the knees hurt, definitely have some blocks here. Lift the heart. Use those elbows to open the hips up. Everybody's looking great. And then we can take that left arm and just bring it over to the inside. And then inhale, get that right arm up and out. Just feel a nice stretch on the outer edge of the left hip. And we'll take that back to center. We'll take that to the other direction. Open up here. Use the leverage of that arm on the inside. Lift up and out. One more breath. And we'll go ahead and release. All right. Wonderful job, everybody. Let's go ahead and take it down to a comfortable seat. Definitely recommend grabbing your blanket here. We're going to get into some forward folding. I love having that blanket help out in forward folds. It's amazing. If you can't reach your toes or your ankles or your knees, all of a sudden, it's magic and you can kind of get there. So, I like to sort of think of it as if you're here and you're sitting back on your sit bones and you're rounding your spine and you're trying to fold forward, you're going nowhere. I mean, there's no way you're going to reach your feet. But if all of a sudden you have that blanket to give you that lift, you get in front of those sit bones, so sort of wiggle yourself. It's like, wow, I can get there. So it's really how you set yourself up to get into this posture. So let's go to Paschimottanasana. We're going to inhale, lift. Flex the feet, draw the toes back towards the knees. Exhale, begin to gently sink in. You can bend the knees if you need to. You can also grab your strap here, a belt, to help you get a little deeper in, closer. And go ahead and reach with the crown of the head. And then sort of sink in. Breathe into the backside of the body. Push down through those thighs. Make it a little bit more tense. Check in with those feet. Make sure they're flexed, protecting the knees. And let's go ahead and release that. We'll take it into Janu Sirsasana. So I'll just adjust here so we can see. The legs are right leg is forward, and bring that left heel into the thigh here. Again, sitting on that edge of that blanket gives you that nice lift. Check in with that right foot. Make sure it's not falling out to the side. The toes are up, drawing back towards the kneecap. And then inhale as we lift, we rotate the torso, the center line of the body, right over that thigh. And you get to sink in. If you want a little bit more, you can take that left hand and reach for the outer edge of that foot and take a little bit more of a twist. I love this posture. You're getting a forward fold out of it. You're getting a little twist out of it. You're working those thighs, that low back. Don't forget to breathe. One more deep breath in. Gently, let's release, walk the hands back in here. We'll take a twist. So a couple options here for our twist. You can just have that foot on the inside of the thigh. You can take the foot over the thigh. Option again here is to bring that heel in, kind of like this, because you're a little bit more compact and lifting up, but whatever feels good for the body. So again, you can have legs straight, you can have foot on the inside, over the top, kinds of levels and degrees. Everyone's bodies, hips are different. So sit yourself up nice and straight, stack up, heart over hips, head over heart. Inhale up, and then exhale, again, moving from the base of the spine, beginning to twist, wrap that arm around, squeeze that knee in, and use that back hand to lift, create length in the spine, shoulders, and head laps. Exhale, squeeze in. Inhale, gently release, and then maybe you can twist a little deeper. It's looking great. Nice long spines. As a pros twist. This one's taught you all well, I'm sure. One more breath here. All right, we'll gently begin to unwind. Go ahead and release the legs out. Give them a little shake, shake out. And then we'll go ahead and bring the heels in towards each other, and we'll take it to Baddha Konasana. So heels can go into whatever degree is comfortable for your inside of your hips here. So you can be out here, draw in a little bit more. You can grab for the toes, grab for the shins, grab for the ankles. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Sit up nice and tall. Lift up. Breathe, inhale, and then exhale. Begin to hinge at the hips gently forward. Again, blocks are awesome in these forward folds. Bolsters are great as well. When we get back into the studio, we'll get a bunch of bolsters and blocks and just get supported as we can. You can also have your blocks here on the outside of your knees here for a little support, which is great. Breathe down into the base of the pelvis here. More and more. And we'll let it go. Walk hands in. Then we'll set up and we'll take that Janu Shirshasana twist to the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and just readjust. So bring, sure I'm doing this the right way. Bring the right foot in. Yes. And we'll go ahead. Inhale, lift up. If I'm cueing it wrong, just do the other side of what you just did. Inhale, lift. Exhale, rotate. Line up the sternum with the leg, and then exhale, bend it. Keep that foot flexed. Draw those toes back towards the knee. Keep everything protected. You want a little bit more. Reach for that outer edge. Give yourself a little bit more twist. Options even with that other hand. You can reach for the outer edge of that hip. Curl, unwind. We'll take that twist, however you set up on the other side. As I said, you'll be on the inside here, over across the thigh. That other heel in if you like. Sit up nice and tall. Squeeze the thighs together. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, we'll wrap. Again, use that palm. Say this pretty much every time I do a twist. Push down through the heel. Lift up and lengthen. Add the shoulders, add the neck. Breathe here. Gently come on out of that. And then we'll begin to, let's see where we're at. A little time. Let's do a quick wide leg fold. So you can have that blanket here. I'll turn to the side so I'm not everybody the money shot, as Kristen likes to say. Spread the legs nice and wide here. Flex through the feet, push the feet out and down, push the thighs down to the ground. Draw those toes back towards you. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, begin to hinge forward. And again, whatever degree is comfortable. It could just be right here. You're feeling that plenty in those thighs. Drop to forearms. Super bendy people are going to get down to the head. I am not. You can have your blocks here and rest your head. Let's have a few more breaths. And then walk yourself back upright. And then we'll go ahead and set up. We're coming down on the back. You can have that blanket still handy. Kind of fold it out a little bit if you want a little extra padding around the sacrum here. And even though we're going to the back, we're going to do just a little bit of core work. Nothing too crazy, but I kind of like to play around with this. Since we are on our back, and we'll really wind it on down. Awesome. All right, so just on down to the back. Go ahead and bend the knees. And we're just going to play around here with the belly. Let the knees fall in towards each other so that the feet are a little wider than hip distance apart. Let the knees fall in. Low back is releasing here. And not everyone thinks they can do a handstand, but we're going to do a handstand right now on our back. Because we're going to work those muscles that are in a handstand. And we're just going to raise those arms up overhead. And what's going to happen is your belly is going to want to open up like a clamshell, kind of like a car hood. Zip those ribs down, the outer ribs, the lower ribs, zip them down and kind of plug them in here. And then arms are active. Spread the fingers really, really wide here. And really, this is the strength here for a handstand, for an inversion. You may never get there, that's fine. We can still simulate it here. So push through the heels of the hands, tuck that belly down and in, just breathe here. A lot of times when we're doing our core work, we just start holding our breath. And then if you want a little bit more, you can extend one leg long. Kind of float that foot, maybe pulse it up a few times. If that's too much, go ahead and back off. If the arms are getting tired, you can back off. But I really like playing around with these micro movements and supported postures. Go ahead and switch legs if you need to. And let's bring the leg back in. Go ahead and release the arms. Give them a little shake out. Draw the knees in towards the chest here. Draw those thighs down and in. Squeeze down as you round your tailbone down. Maybe a little rock side to side here. And then go ahead and extend the legs long. We're just going to take a side body twist here. So take your right foot to the outer edge of the mat and then cross your left ankle over. And then lift the arms up overhead. And then you're going to grab the left wrist with your right arm and then gently pull it over. So if you're looking at us from above, we're in sort of this banana C-shaped posture. And we want to feel this along the left side of the body. So breathe into those ribs on the left side. As you sort of take that left arm up and over gently. Kind of the same as, doing this when we're standing, but it's really nice to have the support here. And then we'll let that go. Go ahead and come back to center. We'll take that to the other side. So legs are long. Left foot to the outer edge of the mat. then cross that right ankle over. And then extend the arms up overhead. And then we'll reach with the left hand and grab that right wrist. And then easy, easy, easy. Go ahead and gently pull yourself over to whatever degree. Breathe into that side body. All right, go ahead and release there. Let's go ahead and take the legs up to the sky. You can reach and grab the back of the thighs, give yourself a little support. This is, really an inversion here. We're getting the same benefits as if we were doing that headstand or going upside down. So flex the feet, push the heels up like you're standing on the ceiling. You want to add the arms, lift them up, reach for the toes, but keep the shoulders down. Squeeze everything in. And then we'll go ahead and take a happy baby. So legs go wide. You can grab the outer edges. You can grab for the toes. And we're really trying to draw those knees down towards the armpits, broadening the shoulders. Try to get your tailbone down. Rock side to side. Whatever's feeling good there. And we'll go ahead and release. We'll just end here with a gentle twist. Go ahead and squeeze that right knee into the chest. Left leg goes long. And then go ahead and take the arms out to a T, and then you'll just draw that right leg up and over. Try to keep those shoulders down as you just twist in. It's more important to keep the shoulders nice square on the mat than get that leg all the way over. So whatever feels good. If you have another twist in your practice that you prefer that's more comfortable, please do that. Don't forget to breathe. And gently, let's come out of that. Set up on the other side. So I think we're taking left leg in, right leg long. Arms to a T, arms to cactus. Draw the knee across. Shoulders planted firmly. A few more breaths, a few more moments of our taking good care of ourselves and just forgetting everything else. Enjoy these last few moments and be present here. And then go ahead and unwind. We'll set ourselves up for Shavasana. So again, blanket's great here. So you can have the blanket there. I like to sort of roll the blanket up just a little bit. You can have that supported under the neck. Great. You can have that under the legs as well. Really nice just to have that right underneath that curve of the neck. The head can just relax. So set yourself up in your Shavasana, palms up. Let that ankle just drop and rotate open here. And we'll begin to just return to an easy breath. Let the heartbeat settle into the chest here. Check in with any last areas of tension, maybe in the brow, in the eyes, in the jaw, the collarbones. Let's just let that drift away and melt. Those bones be heavy. The skin just wrap around the bones and sink into the mat. The hips be open, feet open, almost like as a book. Just enjoy the yoga buzz we just created. I like to call it the yoga buzz. Just feeling all those sensations, those areas we got into, rejuvenating, refreshing. Just be here for a few moments in silence with yourself. Allow me to call you back when it's time. Gently begin to deepen the breath, moisten the lips, raise the eyebrows, welcome in gentle movements into the body with flexing fingers or toes. Give yourself one more full body stretch if you'd like. Reach the arms up and back overhead, ankles together, point the toes forward, flex the feet. Full body stretch here, big inhale. Exhale, draw the knees in towards the chest, gather up all that wonderful energy we created. Squeeze the knees in, little rock side to side, and then we'll come to a comfortable seat any way you like. You can roll over to one side and be in embryo pose for a moment. And go ahead and come up to that comfortable seat and just keep the gaze soft or close the eyes here. Just be here again, those few last precious moments. Taking the time for ourselves, taking that time to go within ourselves, within the moment, to be present, to observe rather than doing. Remind ourselves that we are not the busy thoughts in our minds all the time, constantly judging things. So much more than that. We're connected to something much, much larger. I like to say we're all just different hairs on the same big dog that is the universe, all connected in one way or another. Let's inhale those arms up overhead. Exhale, gently lower palms into the chest. Lift that heart, roll the shoulders up and back. Smile at the world, smile at yourself. Thank you so much for taking the time for yourself today. Thank you for taking the time to join me. Please make sure you donate at the virtual tip jar at urbanyoga.org. Check us out on YouTube channels. I hope to see you all the next coming month as I sub. Namaste. The light in me honors the divine light in each and every one of you. Thank you, everybody. Wonderful.